Finding rhythm, the prologue. Why make content?
Okay. I've been honestly thinking of making this content for, it's got to be 5-7 years now. But as always, it was like, not ready yet. Not ready yet. No one will listen to it. No one cares. Just keep building, keep building, keep building. That was always my thought process. But I mean, like, here we are now. One of the companies has its own studio, so I think there's no more excuses. Now's the time to start doing it, and I just think it will be cool to start documenting now. I've been building businesses for over 15 years, and there's been zero documentation of it. I'm gonna continue building for, another 50 years, hopefully. So I think it'd be cool to start the documentation process of it now. Also, I just had my first kid December 1st. And, I think how cool it will be for him to look back at this video, when he is older too. So that would be another cool experience. And then kind of overall, I do want to share my ideas and experiences out into the world. I learned a lot by consuming other people's content. I continue to learn a lot from consuming other people's content. So if I could help anyone with, expressing what I have gone through, ups, downs, wins, losses, and, have an impact, that would feel really nice. And if I could attract an audience of like-minded individuals that kind of share the same core life philosophies and enjoy building businesses and I'd like to say kind of creating their one-to-one worlds, I think that would be cool too.
So what is your business and life philosophy?
That's it's forever, I don't want to say changing, but evolving for sure. I think I really started to think about it when I first turned 30, and I'm 33 now. But okay, I'll just run you through it, and then I think that'll be a good starting point. At the core, every human experience is completely unique to the individual living that experience, right? I will never know what it's like to be you and the life that you have lived, as you will never know what it's truly like to be me and the life that I live, right? It's through my eyes and my experience. So it's completely unique to the individual living it, but everyone is doing the same thing, which is consuming and creating. We consume the world around us, right? We consume the content that we take in, the books that we read, the conversations that we have, the environments that we are in, the music that we listen to, the movies that we watch. We consume the drinks that we consume, the food that we can consume. And then we create thoughts, feelings, emotions, and action. So we're consuming in, and then we're creating, and that is what pretty much drives experience and what creates your own reality. So believing that, I have really fallen in love with then the actions today, the actions that you do today will have a direct correlation on your future reality, your future experience. The decisions that I make today and the things that I do today will have an impact on my future self. I always think of, you have person A and person B. Person A, they wake up, they meditate for 10 minutes. They go to work, they tell 10 people about the thing that they're building. They go home, they do a workout, and then they write one love letter to their wife. Person A does that every single day for 90 days, and then person B kind of wakes up, rolls out of bed, looks at their phone, goes to work, drags their feet during the day, comes home, watches Netflix, eats crap, and goes to bed. The realities of those two individuals are completely different based off of those decisions, the actions that they take on the daily basis of that. And I believe that to my core. So that's part one. And then leading into part two, it's like, okay, now knowing that, how do you apply that to, real life, really? I think that first you need to set a vision or a goal of kind of your future self, what it is that you want to achieve of it. That could be a big goal, a small goal, a short-term goal, or a long-term goal. Doesn't matter. Set the goal or set the vision for your future self. Make a plan to achieve that. So break it down into smaller steps to achieve that vision or goal. Go out onto the mission and execute the work needed to do that, doing the steps in the plan to achieve that goal. Measure progress along the way so you can kind of keep track of, are you actually executing or not? Celebrate milestones along the way, and then rest, reflect, and repeat. And that process right there could be on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, a quarterly basis, a yearly basis, right? And going back to that could be for short-term goals or long-term goals. And I look at that, I have that lens through many pieces of my life. So then it's like, okay, that's kind of the framework of that. Where do you apply that framework to? I put those in 4 categories, which is my mind, my body, my businesses, and then my relationships. And I really think however you want to frame that for yourself as an individual, you can do that. Health, work, life, however that is. But, starting with the mind for sure, like the power of, I'm sure in future times we'll get into the details of that, but a very important piece to the experience of life is the quality of your thoughts. So I strive to have a calm, peaceful mind. That your body, we're in this kind of human avatar here, and you want it to be strong, mobile, and filled with energy, feeling good. The third one, I always kind of go back and forth on, which it could be skills is another way to put it, right? I just use the skills in the business term because that's what I do. But for any individual listening, it's like, what skills do you want to master or what do you want to get good at? And then relationships, life is a single player game, but we get to play it with others too. And I think it's a core important piece of the experience of life. So I always fall back to the foundational 4 of those of mind, body, business, and relationships, and then kind of working my way backwards. So those are the 4 foundational ones. This is kind of the framework that I use, that I think about those, of setting a vision for what I want my future self to be, and then putting the actions in place to kind of create my future reality. Those all mixed together is the rhythm of life. That is the rhythm. That's kind of why I wanted to name the show Finding Rhythm. Because that all sounds great and it's a great vision of that, but like shit happens and like life changes, and depending if you're 22 years old or 37 or 60 and whatever's going on in your life, the rhythm will change, right? And it will adjust, but it can always get broken back down to the kind of that kind of framework or life philosophy too. So did I answer that?
You answered that, great. Just going to go off a little bit on the side. Applying that rhythm to now other things, how would you do that? Like, you have many businesses out there. You have lots of business friends. You have lots of personal things. How did you apply your business philosophy and life philosophy to now your ever-changing life? Because your life is not the same from age 33 to 21.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it's like the core philosophy, and then it's like, how do you apply it to your life and what it is that you want to do? And like, you are the controller of your life, right? The creator of your reality too. So it's one, being kind of honest with yourself with who are you and what do you want to do. That's for a decision for each individual to be made, but I can apply it at like a grander scale, right? Like 10,000 feet above of like what I want my life to look like, and then zoomed all the way in of like, what do I want my day to look like, right? So, and like I said, I apply that to all the different aspects of my life and the experience of it, which we'll just break it down of like, okay, the mind piece of it, it's like, I don't really enjoy being anxious or angry in that. I'd prefer to be a calm and peaceful and present in the moment person. Now, that's the vision, right? I need to make a plan to achieve that too, which is like, practice mindfulness, educate yourself, finding quiet time, things like that. I need to execute the work to make that happen, which is like make time to sit in a quiet room or to meditate or to be mindful, get better and better at that, track progress, all those things. Onto the body side of it, it's like, okay, I want to have a fit body. It's like, what does that take? Proper sleep, exercise, and nutrition. Kind of pretty simple, but you can kind of get into those. And then on the business side, it's like, what do I want from business, right? So at the core of it, I partner with amazing people and build profitable businesses. That's what I do. Then you go another layer of that. Okay, what does that look like? We have Neighbor Media, we have the Big Ball, we have pool business, and then forever into the future, we'll have more businesses. Okay, then another layer into that, into Neighbor Media specifically. It's like, okay, what are the goals of that company that you want to achieve? How do you do that? Break that down too, right? So you could see as it starts off larger, but it can get broken down into the smallest micro thing of it. And then on the relationship side, obviously, I want to be a good husband, good father. I want to be a good kid and sibling and friend. So what does it take to that? And that piece too. So
that's great to hear it, So this is obviously a new series, Finding Rhythm, and we're going to have lots of viewers on this. So no pressure on that one. So what can viewers expect from this series going forward from this point on? You've explained your philosophy. What can the viewers think about and see and hear from you throughout our episodes going on and on?
Yeah. So I think I have kind of the lead up to this point, right? So call it like the history leading up to this. So I want to dive into the building of the businesses and kind of experiences I've gone through there, right? I think the first one, I was 18 years old when I was a part of it. And then all the way leading up to this point. So pitched on Dragon's Den a couple times, had good and bad experiences manufacturing products, scaling a business, selling hundreds of thousands of units, getting screwed over by bad partners, working with amazing partners, lots of things that can go into there. So I would want to get into more detail of those things. And then kind of more of these concepts that I think about. I think if I am forced to make a video about it and articulate it, it will help even myself put the pieces together, and hopefully there's some value in there. And then just document what's going on and what plans are for future stuff. And then we'll see where it goes.
So obviously, the power of content is huge right now. We're in such a digital age. Everyone is doing social media. So why now? Explain the power of content and why are you choosing to make it now in this day and age?
Yeah, like no matter who you are or what you're trying to do, if you want to communicate, it's very simple. You're going to do it through words, videos, or pictures. That's pretty much how you're going to communicate what's going on in your head. Number one, the cost is so low now to generate content, and the internet has connected billions of people. So there's never been a better time to kind of put stuff out into the world and hopefully attract a community of like-minded people that hopefully in the future I can do business with together, either hire for companies that I already started or partner with and start new ones, or just connect with and I can help them or they can help me. So I don't know if that answered the question, but.
No, it did. Miles, any final thoughts before we wrap up this first episode?
Yeah, my thought is, hi, Mom, because you're probably the only one watching this, episode 1. And Oh, you know what the thought is? Everything when you first start it, you suck at. And this is going to be no different. But I'm willing to go and put 100 reps in to see if the improvement will be there. So if anyone is watching this or listening to this, just hang on. We will improve. It will get better. And yeah, that's it. Hopefully we can put some valuable stuff out there and help others find their rhythm.
And if this all resonates with you, hit subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments. Miles and I would love to hear your story. Let's find rhythm together.